Hi, Scotty here, demon.com. You've heard of silo sites. I'm going to try in 5 minutes or less to show you how to build one really quickly and very cheaply. First of all, I'm going to show you Bruce Clay's excellent resource on silo sites. It's very long and it will go into a lot more detail I do for those of you who want to fill in the gaps. But I'm going to try and hit all the main points as quickly as possible. So if you want to get involved in this, you can. Quick caveat before I start. Silo sites most definitely work now. Whether Google get a bit sick of them or can see how they're gaming the on-site SEO metric further down the line, that is a real possibility. I can't see them ever being penalised, but I can see the benefit they currently get being reduced in the same way perhaps that EMDs were reduced about 18 months or so ago. But anyway, no time for more waffle, time to crack on. Right, you want a silo site. You picked a niche. If you don't know how to pick a niche, there are plenty of resources to do that. You may already have a niche, you may have your own business. What you then want to do is crack open the Google AdWords tool. It's not a brilliant tool for many things, but what it does do is it gives you some excellent words and phrases to help you to know how Google associates things, if it's Google you're planning to rank for. Okay, so you type in the main word. In this one, I've used the old thing of puppy training or dog training. Dog training, there you are. Make sure you're on keyword ideas and not ad group ideas. It's much better if you're logged in as well rather than using the non-logged in version. And this will actually give you lots of the silo topics you'll need. Sort by competition, that's probably best. I don't advise you use dog training as a niche unless you are very expert and already have a well-established site. This is an incredibly hard site to crack into, but there's probably others around. But if the competition's high and the average monthly searches are very high, thinking in this term in terms of a 5-figure number, then they will be your first tier site. So dog training, dog collars, courses, puppy training, that kind of thing. Next thing you need to do is actually set up your site. So what you're doing is you're saying, what I'm going to have is a landing page, which is my main call to action with my product details, my review, whatever it is I'm having there. So maybe you're selling a puppy training course. Behind that, I'm going to have 3 or 4 pages linking directly into that, which are optimized for keywords directly related to puppy training. So for instance, I'm going to just pop open to a little graph, a little sign I've done here. I'm on the wrong page. So say it was dog training and Google said, well, puppy training, obedience training and puppy care are 3 very high keywords or phrases which link into that, which we associate with that because Google keyword tool is sorted by relevance and tells you that, but they're also very high authority, very high competition, very high traffic. Whatever is high for your niche, it may just be a couple of hundred a month. Say this puppy one would be very hard to crack for. So these would be your second tier, and it's almost like building an off-site linking tier, but you're doing it in your own site. And you would build links from these tiers to your main landing page, or page with your review on, and you would have an article. Each one of these would be a page. You'd have a page dog training, a page obedience training, a page puppy care, with an article, preferably 600 words or less, with a link prominently placed which leads into the dog training one. Now underneath each one of these you may have a second tier, or third if you count the landing page as one, where you had puppy training for a particular dog breed, puppy collar training, outdoor puppy training, then you have obedience training for gun dogs or whatever, puppy care and health, puppy care, vaccinations, that kind of thing. So you'd have a third tier, a longer tail for keywords, longer phrases, less competition, probably less traffic, but you do the same. Now, one thing a lot of these places that tell you about silo sites leave out is the layout of the page, and it really is quite important. Your typical page should look, and I'll give you a clue earlier, like this. So this is a website page, so it's a bit shabby looking, but it gets the point across as well as it could. This is the page. Your call to action is on the right hand side of the page and about 10% of the way down, and it roughly that sort of ratio of the page it takes up, and it's on every page. If you go to demon.com, you go to many of my other sites, you'll see I have this on every page. No matter which page you land on, the main call to action is always there, 10% of the way down, on the right, above the fold, every page. So regardless of how your silo works in terms of where a prospective buyer or client may arrive, they're given the opportunity to buy at every single page. It's not thrown in their face, it's not taking up the whole page, but it's there on every single page. If you're using WordPress, you can have a widget set up that'll appear on every page, every post, or every page. You then have a headline, which would include the key phrase, very, very important. You then have the main body of content, which is this sort of beige area, and within the top third of that, you'd have a link to the parent tier, which use the key phrase as the link anchor text. That's important. Okay, so that's how you set up a silo site. You may want this third tier. You may just want that second or third tier, that second tier. So here we've got 13 articles. That's quite a lot of writing to do. I would use unique stuff for this because it's all going to be on your own site. And you've got opportunities here. There's two places I go to: iWriter and SEO Generals. SEO Generals are pretty big on Warrior forums. iWriter, they're quite popular in other sort of forums, like Traffic Planet and stuff like that. They're mentioned on there. Very, very similar. You can get decent quality content for about $1.25 per 100 words. I mean, sometimes they have sales where you can get a 500 word article for $4 or $5, and it's decent. With both of them, you get to review the article before you buy it. So it comes up as an image on your screen, and you don't commit to actually buying the article until you've read it. They both also provide free Copyscape proving before you're presented with an article, but some are still pretty poor. I tend to find with iWriter, I take 4 out of 5 good enough, and I reject 1 out of 5. I may also spend 5 minutes on each article, adding a bit and tidying it up and changing the phrases a little bit. Don't expect perfection. But if you've got 13 articles, it could be, well, you need 13 articles. Somewhere between $65 and $100 would be enough to buy them all. And if you had a spare hour at the end of that, you could make them all a lot prettier and then design your site based around those. They would be unique. Remember to add images. Okay. That is a very short and dirty way of showing you how silo sites work. Remember the basic layout of the diagram: main keyword, lesser keywords, third tier keywords. Remember the layout of the page. Very important to have a call to action on every page, not just the main landing page. Then link using the key phrase, having a key phrase rich, well, an optimized LSI optimized article with a link to the parent tier that uses the key phrase on every page, and basically build this structure, which is very similar to a link pyramid or link tree on your own site. There is no guarantee it's going to work forever, but it very, very much works now. Off-site SEO is done as per usual, and it very much depends on your niche. Some people will give you very specific advice as to what sort of off-site SEO you should do. All I will say is you need to optimize a little bit on every page. That's great if you can do that. The nice thing is you own the whole thing, and it does work. Whether it remains as effective 6 months, a year down the line, I don't know, but for now, that's my 10 minutes or less down and dirty how to do a silo site. Squitty at demondemon.com, signing off.